Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Tuesday. King 5 Meteorologist Adam Claibon. Finally, we're out of first alert. We're out of this heat wave. We're going to go over what we are still expecting to be a warm week here coming up. Some more storms, too, possible this afternoon. But let's go ahead and first take a look back at what was on Monday. Now, you can see highs yesterday made their way into the 80s and 90s again across western Washington, including some record highs for Olympia, 92, the old record at 85. SeaTac Airport, 88, the old record at 85 degrees. Both of those locations actually had 4 consecutive days of record high temperatures dating back to Friday. Bellingham and Quileute also hit daily records yesterday. Another thing too, out at SeaTac Airport, we're going to keep an eye out on this here this afternoon. We'll see if the clouds and the air mass kind of allows it, but if we get up to 80 degrees again here this afternoon, that'll be the first time we have ever had 5 consecutive days in the 80s in the month of May on record. So again, something else we'll keep an eye on here as we go deeper on into the day. So let's take a look at what's happening outside, because we do have more of the clouds out in place, and it definitely looks cooler. Westport, you can tell that air mass substantially different. Actually, maybe not from yesterday, because yesterday we were already seeing that change there, and also here across parts of the north coast. A little push, you can see a lot of the clouds in place, but we definitely did cool down here closer to the mountains, and less of that melting going on, not as much of that water showing up in the parking lot. And our school net side in Granite Falls also showing a lot of clouds now in place. Mount Pilchuck, that was off into the distance, easy to see the past few days, not visible right now. This map just makes you feel even cooler. We're down by 15-20 degrees here across a lot of western Washington. And again, I wanted to stress what was happening down there across more of the south coast. Only 3 degrees cooler than at this point yesterday. Hoquiam, we were already seeing the changes starting to take place with that air mass coming back off of the Pacific. So here as of about noon, temperatures still sitting in the 60s, 62 in Everett, 66 in Bremerton, a low 60s in Forks, and even some upper 50s like in Port Angeles and Hoquiam right now. Upper 50s in Oak Harbor too at 57 degrees. And the air mass, well, it's coming more so from the west and off of the Pacific, so that's why we have more of this westerly flow, this onshore flow that has returned. So if you're not a fan of the heat, you have a break here today. We'll go on into the afternoon again. Highs topping off maybe just grazing 80 degrees, but I think most of us will be in the mid to upper 70s. A lot more of that cloud coverage in place too, with some sunshine, and we'll get some long periods of sunshine too throughout Tuesday. Here's a big picture. You can see the nation pretty wet across parts of the southeast, especially up there across parts of the mid-Atlantic states as well. Maybe some active weather up there across parts of northern Maine, even some snow popping up there into southeastern parts of Ontario. Really exciting, I guess, for them, maybe, right? They're probably tired of it. You can see low pressure is scooting a little farther off to the east right now, but it's still close enough by that we still have those chances of showers and storms here later into the afternoon. Not going to be widespread or as active or really as exciting as yesterday with that severe thunderstorm warning. High pressure too, that was responsible for all the heat. It's getting out of here, and we're going to see things again stay much cooler than where they were here over the weekend. So looking at the storm chances today, you can see those try to fire up here later on into the afternoon. They die off, and most of them stay up across the Cascades, so the higher terrain will have the better chances. We'll head on into the day tomorrow, see those start to flare up again, probably mid to late afternoon, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, all the way until about 7 or 8 o'clock. Then they start to die off, and we'll go on into Thursday, keep an eye out for maybe another chance of some showers and storms, maybe some extra clouds generally for us here in the lowlands. But again, the mountains will be the prime spot if we are going to see any of those storms begin to develop. So the chances of rain today are going to be really small. Again, most of us will stay dry. Just wanted to include that in the forecast just in case you're able to see one of those. But highs cooler, 74 in Mount Vernon, 76 in Arlington, a low 60s around Oak Harbor and Port Townsend. We'll see highs generally right around the mid 70s in Linwood, low 80s for Redmond, Bellevue, Issaquah up to 80 degrees, Paulsville hitting 76, South Sound seeing highs in the upper 70s to low 80s. And your forecast here as we go on into the night, dropping back down into the 50s in a lot of locations. Then we start to warm tomorrow. Looks like I think most of us, if not everyone, will be back at least around 80 degrees and then possibly mid 80s around, with a few chances of those afternoon storms redeveloping for Thursday afternoon. Then comes more of a substantial and more of a probably noteworthy and noticeable cool down over the weekend. 77 Saturday, but yeah, it's that Sunday forecast. Back down into the 60s for highs. We'll have a few more areas of sunshine by the afternoon there, and then we'll start off the following work week with mostly cloudy skies and some rain chances back back in the forecast too, with highs right around 67 and probably keeping more of the mid-60s around on into the start of next work week. So we're done with the heat wave. It looks like we're still going to be really comfortable. For those of you who are a fan of the heat, well, we still have a few more 80s to go as we go over the coming days. So try to get out there and enjoy it. But yes, of course, always be careful of that water. Take care, everyone. Have a terrific Tuesday. We're going to talk to you soon.